Hello, Simon. Congratulations for your role in Ready Player One.
Thank you.
I come from Madrid. I in Spain. The first question is about the project. You have a long career. You're an actor with a lot of projects, but this is a special project because you're working with Steven Spielberg. How was the experience of working the day-to-day with Spielberg in the set?
It's a very happy set when you're working with Steven. He's just such a great interactive director. He's very friendly, and he communicates his ideas really clearly. He's a lovely man. There's something about him which is just, you just want to hug him. And he's one of my heroes as a filmmaker. You know, he's someone whose work I've long enjoyed.
Mm-hmm. Did you know, Simon, anything about the universe of Ready Player One? Did you know the novel of Ernest Cline?
Yeah, I mean, when the novel was written, there is a reference in it to the sitcom that I wrote in the 90s, Spaced. And so somebody told me about the book when it came out and said, oh, this guy mentions you in the book. So I was aware of it. And then when the film came up and Steven was attached, it just felt like the obvious thing to do, you know.
Mm-hmm. How did you get close to the character? I mean, Ogden Morrow is a very special character. You don't have a lot of words in scenes, but you have a very important and decisive role in the movie. How did you get close to him, to get him like a real character? And how did you get close to it?
Well, it was great doing my scenes with Mark Rylance, who played James Halliday. And together, Mark and I were able to kind of play out our friendship. And, you know, when you're working with an actor like Mark, who's amazing, it brings out the best in you, you know. And I think trying to get that chemistry with Mark enabled us to show that friendship, how it was. And you know, like you say, he's a character that has a big significance in the Oasis. But in the scenes where you do see him, it was just a case of imagining those guys back in the past, you know, when this was just an idea.
In the movie, we got a lot of references of the 80s and the 90s. Do you have a special reference you can tell us without spoil anything that is going to surprise to people, to the audience? Any special reference in the 80s, in the 90s you remember in your childhood or something? Any movie, any comic book?
Well, there's a lot, you know. I don't think... There's been a lot of talk about the references in the movie, but the fact is that the important thing really is the idea that a man could create a world from his own past, you know, and the references are sort of beside the point in a way. There's lots of really great ones in there, and if you want to spot them, you can. But if you don't, it's fine. It's a great story about a sort of a battle between the real world and the fake. And I've got lots of things that I like to see, but you know, it's hard to pick one out.
Do you think the movie has an important message about virtual reality and the real life? There's a line, a very thin line between the real, the virtual. Are we like people very crazy about the virtual reality, do you think, nowadays? Are we very crazy with this? Or?
Yeah, I think it's probably a bit of a warning, really, about living in the real world and not sort of escaping to a fake one. It's all very well to escape, but you have to have something to come back to, and there's no point trying to escape if you're never going to be able to come back to anything better. So yeah, it's about sort of trying to live in the present and trying to live in reality and develop real connections with real people.
Do you think, Simon, is it possible in the future we're going to see Ogden again in a Ready Player 2 or Ready Player 1, another sequel or something like that?
Well, as long as he is alive, you know, I think the one thing Ready Player 1 shows is that you can be, even if you're an old man, you can still be a young character in the virtual reality world. You can be whoever you want. So, I would love to be able to come back as Ogden, yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Simon.
Congratulations
Congratulations for the role.
Thank you.
Good luck with the movie.
Cheers. Thank you.